Let's talk about how to deal with excessive sweating, not just in your hands, but your whole body. The medical term for this is called hyperhidrosis. You have the eccrine gland, okay? You have another gland called the apocrine gland, and then you have the third one, which is sebaceous gland. Now, this gland responds with exercise, nervousness, emotional stress, hot weather. And then the apocrine gland responds to emotional stress, fear, pain. And the sebaceous gland is a little bit different because it's releasing kind of this little bit of an oil called sebum for lubrication. These two glands are releasing salt and other electrolytes. So these two glands are primarily for cooling, okay? So causing this sweating reaction and then the evaporation of the liquid creating a cooling sensation. So these two are really involved with temperature regulation. And it's usually triggered by some stress, usually emotion. Is that the treatment that they do on some of these cases is surgical. It's called a thoracic sympathectomy. Okay, they literally remove part of your sympathetic nervous system. The temperature regulation in your body is in the brain. You can call it the thermostat. Okay, it's like in the hypothalamus. So it's very similar to what I have in my studio right now. I have the controls, and there's a little sensor over there that detects a certain temperature of 70 degrees. So anything that goes too high or too low, and that mechanism will either kick in or cool it down or raise the temperature. And so surgically, they're removing part of the sympathetic nervous system, but the medications work on both the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. So really, they're attempting to kind of balance out this autonomic nervous system, but they do target the autonomic nervous system. So the question is there something natural? Is there something herbal that can be done that mimics this without the side effects? Because these medications always have side effects. And the answer is yes, there is, okay? And the very specific phytonutrient that will mimic this medication is called rosmarinic acid, which happens to be in rosemary and sage, okay? So both of these plants have this phytonutrient that can actually help mimic this medication. Now, the next thing that I found related to this topic is vitamin B1 thiamine, okay? There's one side effect from a severe B1 deficiency, and that severe B1 deficiency, okay, if you want to know the name, it's called Wernicke-Korsakoff. That is part of beriberi, which is a B1 deficiency. One of the side effects of the syndrome is excessive sweating. And it just so happens thiamine is involved heavily in the autonomic nervous system, okay? It's essential for the autonomic nervous system to work. And if you're deficient in B1, you can have all sorts of problems with the autonomic nervous system, but excessive sweating is one. So anytime you have a problem with the sympathetic nervous system, which is the flight or fight, or even the parasympathetic, you want to use vitamin B1 in sufficient amounts. The herb sage is very rich in vitamin B1, and taking B1 helps to reduce stress. But all you need to know right now, it's involved in the limbic system. So there are two things I'm going to recommend, okay? Number one, if you have this condition, excessive sweating, okay, take this either in the form of rosemary or sage, okay, and sufficient B1. I would highly recommend finding a natural B1, not the typical synthetic. Whatever it says on the directions, I would take like 4 times the amount to see if that can help you.